Hello there, and welcome. Let's have a chat and talk about a 5-year-old game that is just blowing up right now, and rightfully so. There are plenty of people who are making videos and discussing the topic of Monster Hunter World being one of the most played games on Steam and just having an overall comeback season, right? Okay, so I know that plenty of people have talked about it already, but I kind of want to throw in my 2 cents as well, because it's incredible. Monster Hunter has hit a new record number for on PC, at least for most players online at the same time, of like over 130k, which is a lot, because PC has never been its main platform, even when Iceborne was releasing and all of that. The new sales as well, with their insane, and I do mean just crazy pricing going on. Like, the game it's never been this cheap. And even with Iceborne, it's such a cheap product. It's nuts. It's almost like a steal, really. They might as well be giving the game for free. And obviously, we've also had huge creators, and I do mean huge. Like, Asmongold picked up Monster Hunter World, and from the looks of it, he's having the classic Monster Hunter experience of getting his ass kicked a bunch of times and wondering what the hell's going on. You know, it's not just knowledge checks in general, but still loving it. And it's so magical to see such big content creators just, love something that we, hunters, have loved for a long time. And I think I wanted to make this video because Monster Hunter World has a special place for me. Now, plenty of you guys don't know this, but my first Monster Hunter game ever was Monster Hunter DOS on PlayStation 2. But back then I was a kid, and when I picked up the game, I didn't know what it was. I barely remember anything from it. I remember Kokoda Village, and that's basically it, But yeah, I can't really call it my first Monster Hunter game because I never really finished it. I have very little, memories when it comes to it. But the real time that I got into Monster Hunter was when Monster Hunter World came out. A friend of mine called Alex, shout out to him. He's been playing Monster Hunter for a while. He played Try, For You, all those good old, nostalgic titles, and he says, you're a Dark Souls player, you like hack and slash sort of, kind of gameplay, you should give this game a try, I think you'd like it. I tried it, and I kind of remembered what it was, and I was like, oh, got my ass handed by Anjanath, and even getting to Anjanath, I was just stumbling my way into it, barely using weapons properly, did not know what armor skills were. Basically knew very nothing. I just knew how to hit and how to heal. That was all. And then I got to Engineaf, got absolutely plummeted. He really taught me to be humble while hunting. And he basically, he made me quit for a week. I put the game down. I said, you know what, this makes no sense. I don't like it. I said a bunch of stupid things in terms of like, oh, there's no health bars, I don't even know, like, the monster moves from one area to the other, what's even the point? I said all those things that we all said at the first time when we hated Monster Hunter, because when we first try it, very light, it's very rare that someone tries it for the first time and actually enjoys it. But for me, it was a bit more than that. It was a lot more than that, because I refused to lose to just these AI. Like, the pink T-Rex was kicking my ass, I had to get revenge. I felt like I was a joke. So I sat down, watched a bunch of Arix Gaming videos, a bunch of Gaijin Hunter videos, a bunch of all these educational creators, and here I am now, like 5 years later, 6 now, because we're in 2024, loving my life in Monster Hunter. And I think so many people can relate. So I think that's why this return to the Monster Hunter World and Iceborne campaign has just been such a breath of fresh air, Because obviously I would like to just leave this out here. A huge shout out to Jono and everyone else that works with community management, and just overall, like, every single employee that goes into making Monster Hunter the great experience that we all know and love, because you guys have been doing an amazing job. And like, now that we're done with Rise and Sunbreak, going back to World and having it's basically like World is almost going out for free at this point. Like I said earlier, that everyone's basically saying, please play this game. It's great. It's amazing. There's a lot of people playing it, and it's really cheap. It's just green flag after green flag after green flag, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So good job for to Capcom and the Monster Hunter team for pulling this off, because it has pushed a lot of people towards it, you know? I have already gotten a friend of mine that I've been trying to sell on Monster Hunter for ages, and he finally, and I do mean finally, agreed to take it. So, you know, we're winning. We stay winning with that. Now, the only situation that comes with this return to world is, I don't know about you guys, but when I am told again and again to play a game, I think the most recent example was Lethal Company, I always get a bit skeptical. I always get a bit like, this could be overhyped. So I understand if you're watching this video, you haven't played Monster Hunter, perhaps you're wondering if you should. I'm here to tell you that yes, and I'm here to tell you the why as well. You should be picking up Monster Hunter, okay? So let's sit down. Again, I mean, we've already been here for 5 minutes or so, but let's have a chat about that. So, obviously, I'm just going to say this right now. For those of us who have played World, we all know why we're returning, because it's an amazing game. And also, we just got done with Rise and Sunbreak, so a return to Rise and Sunbreak doesn't make sense after we literally just finished the game, right? 2023 was the year where Primordial Malzeno as the final major update came out, so we just finished Monster Hunter World, like Rise and Sunbreak, so there's no necessary, you know, there isn't necessarily a need to go back to the game that we just experienced. Maybe after our return to World, we can return to Rise and Sunbreak, but that's a whole nother topic. World is incredibly immersive. I've said it again and again. I think when it comes to the 5th generation of Monster Hunter games, Monster Hunter World is very good at creating almost like a soft MMO experience, right? A living and breathing world. I can't struggling to speak. A living and breathing world, right? Where everything just, it feels like you're just a part of it. You're not, you are a hero, but you're not the main character, so to speak, right? And that's special. That's really special. It's a humbling experience at first. And it is a very immersive experience. For starters, what helps with the immersion is the graphics. Now, I'm a guy that I'm set to 1080p, 60 frames, and I'm good. I'm not about those incredible graphics at the expense of gameplay or variety. And I think that is, sadly, the way that the gaming industry or some game developers have taken their games nowadays. It's just make it look pretty even if it doesn't run right, and then release it, you know? Not pleasant at all. But anyway, Monster Hunter World actually has both. Great gameplay and amazing graphics to go along with it. It's like every corner, no joke, every little time you turn around to a corner or a wall in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, you will see some sort of creature getting on with their day. Some sort of, you know, element of nature that is there either to aid you or to interrupt you, depending on the situation, right? So it ties up with gameplay a lot. And I wanted to talk about the hunting pace of things. Now, personally, I'm someone who prefers a more slower and methodical hunting method. You know, I've played Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, Rise, Sunbreak, Chiyu. I've played 1 as well, the very first. And I'm actually recently going back to Monster Hunter DOS on my PlayStation 2. It's being put to work. Obviously, the series has come a long way. It's been 20 years. But the whole experience of a more slow and methodical hunting style is more for me. I'm not saying it's the best style for everyone. I completely understand that your preference might vary. You know, it's the whole debate of Rise versus World. And if I may just speak on that really quickly. Guys, please. We're all Monster Hunter fans, okay? Let's not, you know, it's almost like the whole console versus PC debate. Let's not. Enjoy it as you will, okay? I love Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. I love Rise and Sunbreak. I think they excel at different things, and I think they lack different things. Both of them are still amazing experiences. Let's not have this silly debate, okay? The Monster Hunter community is one of the best communities out there for a reason. It's because we're awesome, and we don't throw fits, okay? I know it's a small, vocal part of the community, because, you know, every single batch of apples will have its rotten apples here and there, right? But I digress. The good thing about Monster Hunter World as well, that you don't really find in in most games, especially Monster Hunter games, is the things that you have outside of hunting. Like the home and pet system, I'm sorry, like maybe it is just me, but I love that system. I love the fact that I can go out into the world and befriend the wildlife so that they can benefit me in one way or the other. For those of you who know, the Grimmelkai and Gajalaka befriending, like side quests if you want to call it that, they're one of my favorite things to do, because you're not hunting, but you're being challenged. You go into places in the map where you never thought were even there, and I highly recommend every single person that's returning to World to go through everything. Because it is fun, even if you think you're not going to enjoy it, like, oh, those Raider Ride quests, oh, boring. I know it's a bit of a chore, but nothing that's worth getting is easy. So I always recommend people to go back to those quests, because it is fun, you know? It is awesome, and wander around the map to capture endemic life, such as plants and animals, and put them in your room, and customize all of the different rooms that you can within Monster Hunter World and Rise, like, World and Iceborne. It's truly something that motivates me to play. And interestingly enough, I've already done my return to World and Iceborne. Like, I've done an entire stream. I think it started in, like, oh, what was it? Beginning of October? No, it ended in October or something. Yeah, we went in for months. Went all the way from Base World all the way to Fatalis. And I'm still playing on that save. I'm going to the guiding lens and I'm having fun. That's probably the footage that you're seeing in the background. And that's one of the things that keeps me in Monster Hunter World as well, is the fact that the endgame system is more fun, in my opinion. I know, again, comes down to preference, but the tail end grind of Sunbreak really had me exhausted and just not motivated. Whereas in Iceborne, I felt like it was a lot more my thing, and I am returning to it again, and I'm even considering creating another new character, which will be my 7th playthrough of World and Iceborne, which also, so just as a side note, take this time to learn the weapons. Play that weapon you think you would never play, that weapon you judge your friends for playing, you know? Play some different stuff, explore the game, you know? Because in 2024, here's what might happen in the Monster Hunter scene. We might be getting new games, right? Such as the rumors of remakes of 3U and 4U, right? Which would be awesome. I haven't played those games before. I would love to be able to play them on like my computer and my Steam Deck or my Switch. I would love to be able to do those. But it might not happen, and we might be just waiting for Wilds all the way until 2025, which is fine. Like, listen, I'm not ever gonna bitch about a developer taking their time to make a game. It's the same thing with Pragmata. Like, let them cook, you know? Let them cook. Monster Hunter Wilds is following Capcom's most successful game ever, which is World and Iceborne. They're going to nail it. Believe in them, guys. Because until they give us a proper reason not to believe them, I'm going to be pre-ordering the most expensive versions of their games. I'm going to be telling everyone to play them. And that's kind of the point of this video, you know? It was more of a little ramble. I feel like I'm getting more into these types of videos where I just kind of sit in front of the camera, make a couple bullet points, and just discuss them. But I really do think that it is a great time for this return to World and Iceborne campaign. And I do encourage you, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, to replay it. If you haven't, then just play it. And if you're not a Monster Hunter fan, pick up the game. Join the hunt. I know it's tough in the beginning. You will want to quit, maybe, or you'll just get the gist of it right away. But rest assured that if you're struggling, you're part of the community that will help you, that will give you plenty of advice, okay? We're gonna be here for you because hunters are always united. And I guess that's all I wanted to say. Monster Hunter World Return, although I've already done it, I'm still playing it. So that return for me is still long-lasting. And 2024 might bring us some news, maybe not, we don't know. But let's let the Monster Hunter devs cook Wilds so it comes out nice and crisp and tasty. That analogy made no sense. Have a lovely time, everyone. And yeah, stay safe until we meet again.